Leadership separates billion-dollar empires from forgotten startups. Every day, thousands of businesses launch with identical products, similar funding, and comparable talent. Yet only a handful become legendary. The difference isn't strategy, technology, or market timing, it's leadership. Great leaders don't just run companies, they transform them into unstoppable forces that reshape entire industries. They see what others miss, inspire what others can't, and achieve what others think impossible. Leadership isn't about charisma or natural-born talent. The world's most powerful business leaders weren't born different. They developed specific skills that turn ordinary companies into extraordinary success stories. They mastered the art of making tough decisions under pressure, building cultures that attract top talent, and creating visions so compelling that customers become evangelists. These aren't mysterious gifts reserved for a chosen few. They're learnable abilities that any business owner can develop. In this video, I'll reveal the exact leadership principles that built Apple, Amazon, Tesla, and countless other industry giants. You'll discover how great leaders think, communicate, and execute in ways that transform struggling businesses into market dominators. The Why Foundation. We all have very different experiences with what leadership means. Take, for example, two leaders born decades apart. A leader who built their career in the 1980s experienced hierarchical structures, face-to-face meetings, and long-term employment relationships, leading most to have a more traditional view of authority. A leader who emerged in the 2010s witnessed the rise of flat organizations, remote work, and rapid technological change, leading to a more collaborative view of leadership and greater emphasis on adaptability. People born in different business eras experienced varying levels of economic stability, technological disruption, and workforce expectations during their formative professional years, greatly shaping their attitudes toward leadership and business building. People justify every leadership decision they make based on the information they have at that moment and their mental model of how businesses should operate, shaped by their mentors and unique professional experiences. Although they can be misinformed or make poor choices, their actions make sense to them in that moment and align with their own leadership story. According to research, leaders do some unconventional things with their teams, but no successful leader is truly unconventional without reason. We all have unique leadership philosophies, and since there is no universally correct way to build a powerful business, none of our approaches are inherently wrong. We make leadership decisions based on our personal experiences and our worldview about what drives human motivation and business success. The compound effect of great leadership. There is no doubt that leaders like Jeff Bezos, Oprah Winfrey, and Elon Musk are considered among the most influential business builders of our time. What is staggering is that the majority of their most impactful business decisions and wealth creation happened after they had already achieved initial success. Few pay enough attention to the simplest fact that their business empires aren't due to just making one great decision, but consistently making aligned decisions over decades based on a clear purpose and vision. As a result of starting with a clear why from early in their careers, these leaders were able to harness the power of compound leadership influence. Let's say you inspire one person with your vision and purpose. That person goes on to inspire two others, who each inspire two more. Your initial act of leadership would create exponential influence over time. If you remained consistent with your why and continued inspiring others year after year, the compound effect of authentic leadership grows exponentially. An organization built on purpose gains momentum not only from the original vision, but also from the inspired actions generated by everyone who believes in that vision. Warren Buffett began investing with clear principles at age 10, but more importantly, he maintained those principles and inspired others to follow his approach for over 7 decades. His business success can be attributed not just to his investing skill, but to his consistency in living his values and inspiring others to adopt long-term thinking. His skill is in analysis, but his secret to building Berkshire Hathaway into a powerhouse is time, consistency, and the compound effect of principled leadership. The counterintuitive truth is that building powerful businesses through great leadership is not about having all the answers immediately. It's about consistently asking the right questions, staying true to your purpose, and inspiring others to join you on a journey that may take decades to fully unfold. Vision and strategic thinking. Great leaders understand something that average managers miss entirely. Good leadership takes time and doesn't happen overnight. When it comes to building businesses, we all have a bias towards seeking immediate results. Looking back at history, however, the most powerful businesses were built by leaders who thought strategically about the future, even when short-term results seemed discouraging. So what is it about long-term vision that we overlook in favor of quick wins? The answer is because powerful businesses take time and require sustained effort over years, sometimes decades. For example, a 40% decline in quarterly profits attracts attention immediately and may result in leadership changes. However, the incremental nature of building a culture of innovation and employee engagement over several years can go largely unnoticed until it creates breakthrough results. Every year, countless businesses fail because their leaders focused on short-term fixes rather than building sustainable competitive advantages. There are many overnight business failures, but few overnight business transformations. Great leaders don't have to be pessimistic about short-term challenges. Despite setbacks, they hold on to the belief that over time, staying true to their vision and consistently making decisions aligned with their values will create extraordinary results. The innovation story. In 2007, Steve Jobs and his team at Apple created not just the iPhone, but an entire ecosystem that would fundamentally change how humans interact with technology. This wasn't just a product launch, it was a strategic vision that would reshape multiple industries. From billions of mobile users to a revolutionary ecosystem, there was roughly a 1 in a million chance of creating a product that would transform society. Jobs famously said, "Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower." What's remarkable is that companies like BlackBerry, Nokia, and Motorola had intelligent teams and significant resources. They could have created the smartphone revolution alongside Apple. However, their focus on protecting existing business models and incremental improvements prevented them from taking the bold risks necessary for breakthrough innovation. The odds of established companies cannibalizing their own successful products to create something entirely new are extremely low. Just as visionary leadership propelled Apple to unprecedented success, established companies experience the consequences of playing it safe and avoiding the risks that come with true innovation. This brings us to Simon Sinek's incredible book, Start With Why, which I highly recommend you purchase from Amazon. You'll find the link in the description below. This book is absolutely essential reading for anyone serious about leadership and building powerful businesses. Sinek's insights about purpose-driven leadership have transformed how millions of people think about motivation, inspiration, and creating lasting impact. It's one of those rare books that will fundamentally change how you approach leadership, and I cannot recommend it enough. Luck and risk are like market forces and timing that determine business success. The leader can control strategy and execution, but ultimately the outcome is influenced by external factors that cannot be fully predicted. Understanding that success is a complex combination of skill and timing can help leaders approach their decisions with greater humility and resilience. The control paradox. Leaders want to build powerful businesses to create impact and often to achieve financial freedom. But the key to sustainable leadership is the ability to empower others to do their best work when they need to do it with the resources they need for as long as the mission requires. The pursuit of control and micromanagement has led to many leaders working harder and giving up more influence over their organization's culture, despite having more authority than ever before. However, studies show that empowering others and building systems that work without constant oversight is the most dependable predictor of business scalability and long-term success, more than your personal work ethic, technical expertise, or industry connections. Ultimately, building others' capabilities is the highest return on leadership investment. Trying to control everything without developing people is like trying to fill a bucket with your hands. No matter how hard you work, you'll never be able to scale beyond your personal capacity. Similarly, no matter how talented you are individually, your business won't reach its full potential if you don't develop other leaders who can multiply your impact. The leadership long tail. Consider the story of a leader who made what seemed like a small decision early in their company's history. They chose to prioritize employee development over short-term cost savings. This leader invested heavily in training, mentoring, and creating growth opportunities, even when the immediate return wasn't clear. Most of these investments seemed ordinary and didn't produce immediate dramatic results. According to research on organizational behavior, Great leaders make vast numbers of decisions about people, culture, and values, holding on to them for the long term. They wait for a few of those decisions to create breakthrough results and cultural transformation. Perhaps 99% of leadership decisions turn out to have modest impact. They could be wrong about specific tactics most of the time, but that doesn't matter if the other 1% of their decisions, usually about purpose, values, and key people, create transformational results. These are known as leadership long tails, where a small number of decisions account for the majority of business outcomes. Take Google, for instance. Larry Page and Sergey Brin made thousands of decisions, but their decision to focus on organizing the world's information and making it universally accessible became the guiding principle that drove everything else. That single clarity of purpose more than made up for all their less successful experiments. When Google launched products that didn't succeed, rather than abandoning their mission, they viewed each failure as learning that brought them closer to their goal. They understood that it's acceptable to fail with most initiatives if the process creates the 1% of breakthrough innovations that define the company's future. Leadership long tails are mostly hidden because we only see successful companies and their current results, not all the experiments and failures along the way. When you observe a thriving business, you're seeing the 1% compendium of decisions that actually created value, while 99% of attempts were probably adequate or unsuccessful. Building culture versus having authority. It's crucial to understand the difference between having authority and building culture. Authority is about your current position and the power you can exercise, while culture is about the values and behaviors that persist even when you're not present. True leadership isn't what you can force people to do, but what they choose to do because they believe in the mission. It's easy to assume that someone with an impressive title has built a powerful business, but appearances can be deceiving. Many individuals rely on positional power to get results, while the most powerful businesses are built by leaders who have created cultures where people are intrinsically motivated to do their best work. Culture isn't about the perks you provide or motivational speeches you give. It's about the shared beliefs and values that guide behavior when no one is watching. Building culture requires consistency, authenticity, and patience. We're conditioned to believe that having power means using power. But the real key to building powerful businesses is to create environments where people are empowered to contribute their best thinking and effort. Additionally, I want to share something valuable with you. I've created a free ebook on personal finance that's available in the description box below. Please download it and read it. It contains practical strategies that can help you build financial stability while you're developing your leadership skills. Financial literacy and leadership development go hand in hand, and this resource will complement everything we've discussed today. The price of leadership. Imagine you are building a business with the goal of creating lasting impact and serving your customers at the highest level. Maybe you will face economic headwinds, maybe technological disruption. You may encounter fierce competition. You might make strategic mistakes that cost you dearly. The difficulty of leadership is not always apparent until you're facing real challenges with real consequences. Leadership is like acquiring any valuable skill. If you want to develop leadership capability, you have three options. You can invest years in deliberate practice and learning from failures. You can take shortcuts and hope for mediocre results, or you can try to fake it without doing the work. Investing in authentic leadership development is a higher price, but the impact is greater. Taking shortcuts is easier, but comes with limited impact. Trying to fake leadership is like trying to get something for nothing. However, when it comes to business leadership, people seem to think they can skip the character development, skip the hard conversations, and skip the years of learning from mistakes. The price you must pay as a leader is not just about time or money. It's about accepting the emotional challenges that come with responsibility, the loneliness of difficult decisions, and the vulnerability required for authentic connection with your team. Recognizing that great leadership comes with a price is crucial. The key is to convince yourself that the leadership journey is worth it, that it's an investment worth making. Know when your mission is bigger than your ego. Become familiar with the concept of purpose beyond profit, or what we might call the legacy mindset. Every time you achieve a goal, ask yourself whether you're serving something greater than personal gain. You need only look at leaders who have built the most enduring and respected businesses. They understood that true power comes from empowering others and creating value that extends far beyond their own lifetime. The pursuit of power and recognition without a sense of higher purpose is like climbing a ladder leaning against the wrong wall. No matter how high you climb, you may discover that your efforts have been misdirected and the climb itself becomes meaningless rather than fulfilling. Great leaders understand that building powerful businesses is ultimately about creating positive impact in the world, developing other leaders, and leaving a legacy that makes things better for future generations. When your why is bigger than your ego, every challenge becomes an opportunity to serve something meaningful, and every success becomes a platform for greater contribution. The most successful leaders throughout history shared one common trait. They understood that their role was to create something bigger than themselves. They built systems, developed people, and established cultures that would continue to create value long after they were gone. This is the true measure of leadership, not what you accomplish for yourself, but what you enable others to accomplish. Remember, leadership is not a destination. It's a journey of continuous growth, service, and impact. The businesses that stand the test of time are built by leaders who understand that their greatest achievement is not their personal success, but the success they make possible for others. In this video, I have taught you the principles of building powerful businesses through great leadership. I've also created another video on how to create multiple income streams that perfectly complement these leadership concepts. Definitely watch that next, as financial diversification and leadership development work together to create true long-term success and security. If you like the video, like, comment, and subscribe. See you soon in the next video.